When you look at this photo, the first thing that probably stands out to you is the Milky Way band that spans the width of the sky. This is our home galaxy, and if you seek out dark enough skies, it can be seen in the summer and winter months. I'll never forget the first time I saw the Milky Way in the sky. It was during the winter time. I was in Hawaii, and I was visiting there because I was taking a 3-week geology class about the geologic evolutions of the islands, and I saw the Milky Way and knew I would be back. But the Milky Way is not the only galaxy we can see with the naked eye. Right here you can see the small and large Magellantic clouds. Those can be seen from the southern hemisphere. And then right here, this needle-like shape is the Andromeda Galaxy, and this is the oldest light you can see with the naked eye. It can be seen without magnification. And this video, we're going to explore the similarities and differences between the Andromeda Galaxy, which is the closest spiral galaxy to us, and the Milky Way, the one in which we live in. Welcome to Learn the Sky. My name is Janine, and I'll be your guide as we explore the sky one constellation at a time. Before we dive into the similarities and differences of the Milky Way and Andromeda galaxies, I wanted to go over a few pictures to make sure you know the differences of what they look like in the sky. The Milky Way is very obvious to see. It's this big, huge, cloudy band that spans across the entire sky, where Andromeda is much more smaller piece of real estate in the sky, but it has a very peculiar shape. It has this almost like a needle-like shape, and that's because it's a spiral galaxy. We're sort of looking at it edge on, but a little its face is tilted towards us. So if you can start to train yourself to look for this in the sky, when you're looking at these pictures, it'll help you when you go outside. Here's another photo of the Milky Way. You can see it spans across the entire sky. This is obviously a long exposure photo. That's why the light is bright here, and this is like the core of the galaxy. Here we have the small and large Magellantic clouds, and this needle shape right there is the Andromeda Galaxy. So let's take a look at one more picture. This is more of a realistic view of what you would see if you were in a sky that's dark enough. So can you spot the Milky Way Galaxy, and can you see that needle-like shape in this photo? So just to point it out to you, this is where the Milky Way is, and right there is the Andromeda Galaxy. I do have a whole video on how to find the Andromeda Galaxy in the sky. I give you a few different strategies, so be sure to go check out that video. Now we'll take a look at the specific characteristics of each of these galaxies. So the Milky Way, which you can probably easily identify at this point in this picture, it can be seen with the unaided eye, and it is a spiral galaxy. And if you want to see the Milky Way, it's really essential that you seek out dark skies. In terms of its size, it's 100,000 light years across in diameter, and it has 59 satellite dwarf galaxies, 2 of which ones you've seen already in this video, the small and large Magellantic Cloud. It's estimated the Milky Way has between 100 to 400 billion stars, and as I said earlier, this is Earth's home galaxy. And if we take a look at this photo, it's looking at the Milky Way from the bird's eye view. This is an artist's impression, and you can see right here, this is the center of the galaxy. The Milky Way is classified as a barred spiral galaxy, so the bar is right here, that shape, and then the arms come out this way. And if we were to label what these arms are named and the distances, here's what that would look like. And our sun right here is about 2/3 of the way out from the center of the galaxy. And if we were to take a look at this from another view, you can see this is the Milky Way band right here. Earth would be, I'm over here. Earth would be over here, so it's about 2/3 of the way out. We live in the arms of the galaxy. And then this is showing you where you have different types of radiation that's detected. And scientists estimate that this galaxy right here, UGC 12158, is the most similar to the structure of our own galaxy. So the only real pictures we have of our Milky Way are from this vantage point, right? So scientists estimate that this galaxy in particular most resembles our own. And if we take a look at some of the surrounding areas, you can see these are some of the galaxies that are orbiting the Milky Way Galaxy. Here you can see the large Magellantic Cloud and small Magellantic Cloud. These are mostly dwarf galaxies. Now we'll take a look at the characteristics of the Andromeda Galaxy. It is also a spiral galaxy and definitely a favorite to photograph for astrophotographers, and you can see why. It is such a gorgeous galaxy, and it can be seen with the unaided eye, and it's estimated to be 2.5 million light years away. It's estimated that it has 35 satellite galaxies, and it's said to have the same mass of this Milky Way, but twice the size, which would make its diameter going across 200,000 light years, and it's estimated to have 1 trillion stars. And if we just take a look at this picture right here, the Andromeda Galaxy has really been photographed so much because it's really fascinating to see. You can see the shape of the spiral arms. You can see some dark areas here where gas is being absorbed and light cannot pass through. So it's really, really interesting to study. And if we zoom out here, you can see here are some of the satellite galaxies that are going around Andromeda. And when you look at Andromeda on a star map that you can see right here, you can see how big it really is in the sky. And if you train yourself on how to find it, then you are able to see this object. And once you know where it is, you know where it is. So the trick I use really quickly is I use the Great Square of Pegasus. Okay, I find this star, I jump, I count 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. That's how I find it. So I kind of skip along these stars by 3 2 times and find Andromeda Galaxy. So use that strategy to help you find it. There is another nearby galaxy called the Triangulum Galaxy. This one is also going around the Andromeda Galaxy. Andromeda is also known as Messier 31, and it is also a barred spiral galaxy. For me, I don't truly see the bar here, but that's perhaps because of its orientation. And then there's other satellite galaxies such as Messier 33 and Messier 110. And here's another gorgeous picture. You can see this, because of its long shape, it gives that needle-like appearance in the sky, and you have those galaxies that are orbiting around the Andromeda Galaxy. I've got a few other shots. I'm super fascinated with this galaxy, like many others out there, but this shows you what the Andromeda Galaxy looks like in ultraviolet radiation. Here you can see it in infrared, so that's like the heat. Where's the heat in the galaxy? This picture tells that story. Here's another view of where infrared radiation is coming from in the Andromeda Galaxy. This here is a really famous photo. This is the Andromeda Galaxy in visible light. And this is a long exposure shot taken by the Hubble, and you can find this on the interwebs and zoom in, and just, it's a really, really fascinating photo. I will put the link for that and list it below. And these are our local groups here. I love this photo because it shows you the Milky Way and all the satellite galaxies going around the Milky Way, and then you have Andromeda and all of its satellite galaxies as well. And then these two, the Andromeda and Milky Way, will eventually collide in the future. And if we were to zoom up, that just shows you the variety of galaxies that are in our local group. And here you can see the Triangulum Galaxy, another small spiral galaxy that can be seen with the unaided eye, but you really need to have a very dark sky. And the collision scenario for the Milky Way and Andromeda is that eventually, within 4 billion years, we will collide with it. So again, we would be here, and over time, these two galaxies would merge. And I'll take a look, show you one more photo of Andromeda. I do have a whole video on that, so make sure you go see that video. But here you can see, probably figure out where the Andromeda Galaxy is now that we've talked about it. Look for that shape, and here it is right there. And actually, you can also see the Triangulum Galaxy. It's right there. So these bright stars here are a part of Andromeda constellation. So hopefully this gives you a good idea of the characteristics between the Milky Way and Andromeda Galaxy. So in all my versus videos, I like to use a Venn diagram to show the similarities and differences between the two things that I am comparing. So we'll start with the similarities. The Andromeda Galaxy and Milky Way Galaxy, they're both barred spiral galaxies. They both can be seen with the naked eye, and they both have a variety of satellite galaxies that are traveling around that main galaxy. Now, in terms of the differences, the Andromeda Galaxy is simply bigger. It's twice the size, even though it has the same mass as the Milky Way. I probably should have put same mass here in the center. It has more stars, 1 trillion stars, which is much more than the Milky Way, and its distance is 2.5 million light years away. Now, the Milky Way is smaller. It's 100,000 light years in diameter. It has between 100 and 400 billion stars, and it is our local galaxy. We live in it. So when we look up at the sky, we are able to see it. So I hope this video was helpful for you in order to know the differences and similarities between the Milky Way Galaxy and the Andromeda Galaxy. I do remember the first time I saw Andromeda. It was on Mauna Kea at the visitor station, and I just moved there, and I was starting to learn how to volunteer, and I would listen to the star talks each night, and that's how I started learning the sky. And they taught me that trick on how to find Andromeda Galaxy. You have to use Pegasus and Andromeda to help you find it. You can also use Cassiopeia as well. So to wrap up, the Andromeda Galaxy versus the Milky Way Galaxy, they're similar because they're both spiral galaxies. They can be seen without magnification if you have dark enough skies, and their mass is similar. In terms of their differences, their size is different, the number of stars, and the distances between each other. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful, and I wish you luck finding both the Milky Way and Andromeda Galaxy. Remember, anytime you're learning to stargaze, it really takes time, patience, and practice. So keep going outside, and as always, keep looking up.